What's up, everybody? Skumricho in the house. This is our neighbor's cat, but he loves to stay with us to get some cuddles and some food. And today I'm gonna do something that I wanted to do for a long time, to basically explain a little bit about the studio. What is what I'm doing with it, why I have the things I have, and just a short introduction. I'm not gonna go too in-depth in everything because it's gonna be many hours. Okay, bye. We have this studio together with Gama, Gloria, my fiancée, future wife. I've been building this studio for the last 5, 6, 7 years or something like that. Basically, you do not need all of those things. What you need is a laptop, speakers, headphones, and that should be enough. But if you want to have a bit more pleasure, I would say hardware is very cool. You could use both of your hands to twist some knobs, and it's just more tactile, more fun. And I enjoy it much more than just staring at the screen and clicking with a mouse. That's why I have all of those things. And the question that I get the most is, do I really know what all those knobs do? Actually, I do know. And today I'm gonna try to explain a little bit to you. I'm gonna start from the speakers. Those are Kali Audio LP6. Budget friendly, but very good quality. I recommend them. Check them out. I think it's around 250 euro the piece. Also, the bass comes out from the front on those speakers. A lot of monitor speakers, you have the bass coming out from the backside, and if it's close to a wall, those frequencies hit the wall even harder, and a lot of reflections and things happen that you don't want to happen. I have a MacBook M1 Pro chip, which is basically the best laptop I've ever used for music. Is just perfect. Someone's calling, 1 sec. Alright, I need to learn to turn off my phone before I start recording. I have this big table, which is needed if you're gonna have big synthesizers, keyboards and gear. 32-inch monitor, so that you could look at it from further and your eyes don't get tired. I think those are very essential. Very comfortable chair, that is super important if you want to stay long time in front of the screen. And from here I'm gonna start explaining a little bit about the main brain in the studio, which is the Native Instruments MK3. This is, in my opinion, one of the best workflows when it comes to sketching ideas, composing, making loops, sampling. It's very intuitive, very quick to access things, and this is basically the instrument that I'm most familiar with. It has inputs, outputs, MIDI in, MIDI out, and this is the main brain of my studio. Everything that you see, everything else that you see is going to the inputs here, and I'm sampling my instruments into the machine. And I'm also using it with the machine software, which complements it very well. It's not a complete DAW, but once I sketch my ideas, I export the tracks and I move on to Reaper or FL Studio or something like that to fine-tune stuff. And then I'm gonna mention the instruments that I'm using. Basically some guitars, electric guitar, bass guitar. Those are going through a little booster for it to match the line level of the Akai MPC Live 2. The inputs here are line level, and if you want to use a guitar straight in there, you still can do it, but it's better to use some sort of preamp or booster before it hits this instrument. What else? I also have the turntable, which also goes into the MPC. It has a turntable phono preamp. Then you don't need an additional preamplifier to get your turntable to work. There are a lot of turntables with built-in preamp, which have line output. but this is a vintage one. I think made in 1993 or something like that, and it's one of the last quality turntables made back then, before the CDs really hit the market very hard. And after that, the market became more gimmicky, and now it's coming back. So I'm very happy with this vintage turntable. The sound quality is very warm and nice. That's Torrens TD 146 MK5. The cool thing about this turntable is that it has auto stop, so when your record is finished, it doesn't start making those scratch noises, but the needle just lifts up. Another instrument that I'm using is the Akai MPC Live 2. This is I use it as a multi-sound generator for drums, for synthesizers, for bass, for whatever. It has a lot of sounds in there. I have also downloaded some sample kits, and I don't really use the sequencer and arranger that much because I prefer to use the KeyStep Pro for that, for sequencing. The idea is that all the sounds that in this case are going through the MPC, which are like guitars, turntable, and the MPC itself, I could very easily route through those effects, and then that goes into the machine and I could sample it, perfect loops, MIDI connected, and yeah, MIDI is something that I want to briefly talk about as well. Everything here is connected with MIDI. MIDI is sort of a language between instruments. It's using this type of cables similar to XLR, but it has 5 pins in there, 5-pin DIN MIDI cables, I think they're called. And everything here is connected with this kind of cable. This makes it easy to communicate between instruments. It's not about audio, it's about information. So for example, MIDI clock, I could synchronize tempo. This is the main source of tempo, and then everything else is synchronized to that main BPM tempo that I have. Very easy and quick. It has also restart function, so once I hit restart here, things start moving here. I stop it, I restart it. It's very quick. My delay pedals are also connected with MIDI to that. Then we have a microphone, which is connected to this vocal processor, which is one of my favorite effect units ever. I think this is irreplaceable. It has so many things in there. Literally check it out. This is TC Helicon Perform VE. Very underrated, not many people know it, but this thing is such a jam. It has reverb, delay, filters, auto-tune, some gender morph features, some doubling, some flangers. It's insane. It even has a looper inside, which is crazy, and even has some drums. I mean, it's crazy. You could also synchronize it to the main beat. You hold this set button, you speak to the microphone, and it automatically sets EQ, compression, de-esser, and it makes your gain. So it makes your voice sound pretty good immediately. And also my laptop sound goes inside here. It has aux in, so I could sample everything from YouTube, radio.com, or whatever I want to sample from the World Wide Web. I could loop it there, and I could again route it through all those effects, and that again will go into the machine. To explain a little bit more about that chain, I'm gonna go more in detail. So this audio output goes into my patch bay, and this is a board brain patchulator, pretty cool and compact patch bay, which is not an audio unit. It basically makes it easy to route things, so to decide with a single cable what instrument goes into what other instrument or effect, and what goes where. This makes it just very quick and easy to decide which of my instruments I'm going to route through the effects chain, and then that would go into the Behringer Euphoria UMC 1820 audio interface, but I use it more as a mixer. Here I have like pads, line instrument levels, I could mute stuff, I could make something mono, because everything here is routed in stereo. If I want to keep the stereo image, I always can do that. And if I want to have everything summed to mono at the end of my chain, I just click a button and everything that goes to the last device is mono, which is great for drums, bass. This is the Arturia Keystep Pro, very cool sequencer. It has everything you need, really. 64-step sequence, 4 MIDI tracks, and endless possibilities. Is one of the most advanced sequencers out there. Highly recommended. Some percussion, some kalimba. Always fun. Kalimba is the favorite instrument of many generations. Yeah, so finally I'm gonna talk about the effect pedals. All of these are stereo. So my chain goes from here all the way to here, then continues here, and this is the last pedal. And basically I'm gonna go through each one very briefly. First pedal that hits the chain is the Meris Enzo. Meris is one of my favorite brands for guitar pedals. This is a synthesizer pedal, so it's very important to have the synthesizer pedal in the beginning of your chain, because it's tracking the pitch of your guitar. And if your guitar goes through some distortions, delays or whatever, and then it hits the synthesizer, it cannot track the pitch very well. You could still use it like that for more experimental sound, more glitchy sound, but I have it in the beginning of my chain, so I could turn my guitar into a synthesizer. The cool thing about this is that you could also use it not as a synthesizer, but just as an effect on your dry guitar, because it's basically a multi-effect. It has modulation, it has delay, different type of filters, compression, pitch shifting. This pedal is like crazy. It has so much under the hood. Once you learn it, it's like such a gem. It's great for texture sounds also, for glitching sounds, for atmospherical stuff. Yeah. Then we go into the Erica Synth Acid Box 3. This is a great pedal for filtering and saturation. It's analog, and it has LFO envelope generator, and it has a very specific character of the filter. It's a bit dirty. Something that is very well known for is you could put the in level higher, and that makes your drums very punchy and crunchy, like nothing else really. It makes your drums sound so good. I highly recommend it for that. Then that goes into the Boss EQ200, very easy to use equalizer. So you could just go like that. It has 15 dB plus, 50 dB minus, and to shape your sound is perfect. After that we're going into the other pedal that I think I would never sell. This is the Auto Machine Baum or Boom. This is a parallel distortion and parallel compression effect. It even has negative compression, it has noise gate, it has side chain. This is dope, and it's analog, and it has 4 types of distortion, from slight saturation to complete madness. Many people use it as a mastering tool to glue everything together, so the complete mix of your song, but I use it more as a creative tool. Then we go into the Meris Autobit Junior. This is a box that is just pure fun. This is all about bit crashing, sample rate reduction, filtering, sequencing. It has 6-step sequencer that you could sequence the filter, the pitch or the sample rate, and it has some stutter effects and tap tempo. which makes it super easy to use to come up with quick, fun ideas. Then we're going to the Boss Slicer. This is basically a tremolo pedal, but it's a rhythmical tremolo pedal. It has a lot of variations that you could put to your sound. So for example, if you have a pat sound and you put it through this pedal, you could make that pat sound very rhythmical. It doesn't only have tremolo effects, it also has a little bit of pitch shifting sometimes, because it has so many different variations of effects in here. Highly recommend, also a lot of fun, and the best thing about it is you could sync it with MIDI to your DAW, so those rhythmical effects that sound very choppy are always in tempo with your beat. You have attack and decay controls, and that makes it very cool. You have a lot of control over your sound. After that we have the Strymon Iridium. This is an amplifier and cap simulator. So instead of having those huge boxes, guitar amplifiers that are heavy, big and noisy, if you want to use your monitor speakers, you could use something like that to replicate the sound of an amplifier. So it has 3 different amps in there. For each of those there are 3 different cap options. It has a reverb, which sounds very natural, and it's very straightforward and easy to use box, which I really like about it. I sometimes use it on synthesizers and drums, which make them sound very interesting. After that we're going to Shiftline Prism 2. This is stereo filter pad pedal, very unique pedal. I don't think there's anything similar to that on the market, besides maybe the MXR layers, which is something new and I want to try. I guess it's similar to that one, but this one I think is cooler, because it's basically taking your sound, then that sound is going through some filters, pitching, reverb, whatever, all kinds of things, tremolos, and it's creating this background atmosphere to your sound, and it's very experimental. I don't really know what I'm always doing with it, but I almost always end up with some unique, cool sound. And after that we're going to Shiftline Everest 2. This is another pedal of Shiftline, the Russian brand from, I believe, St. Petersburg. And this is a combo delay and reverb pedal, which is pretty cool, very easy to use, and it's the one cool thing, it has stereo width. Something that I don't like about it is that it has 12 algorithms, and that's a bit too much for me. I cannot remember what is what. Sounds amazing. And that's it, guys. Wow, like that's a lot, I guess, to comprehend, but I'm planning to make individual videos on each of those pedals, and maybe some of other gear here. And yeah, stay tuned. Oh, by the way, I have one more pedal that is for repair right now, the Maris LVX. This, in my opinion, is one of the best pedals out there in general. It's a multi-effects pedal, which is based on delay, but it has so much under the hood, and it's very easy to use. Even though it has a deep menu, it's the best menu out there, I would say. Very quick to understand, to go through and to reach what you want to do. All right, and finally everything is going to the recorder. So I record my jam sessions and beat making, everything to that recorder. This is Roland R07, very compact recorder, very easy to take in your pocket and also go out and record some stuff outside, like birds, caves, cats, whatever you want to record. And I guess that's it. Stay tuned, guys, and peace out.